So we are going live to cast not live things. Uh, we're going to go and cast a couple of games between first Hot Potato versus Fleeze, and then Captain Weebmaster. I love that name. Versus Kevz, who is another streamer who's been casting several games. I believe he's either on vacation or like his power's out right now or something. Um, but Captain Weebmaster asked me to do that. So I know uh, with the recent patch, we've had a lot of problems. Uh, we've got lag. We've got villagers not pathing correctly. We've got all kinds of crap going on. And we're not seeing much of a hot fix. Or, I mean, obviously they gotta have time to do the hot fix. Um, so, in order to play games decently, we have to go back and use a previous version with a beta key and all that stuff. And actually, in order to view these games, even you need to have that, and specifically have it turned on, which unfortunately deletes all of your progress in, at the very least, the Art of War. I used to be Golden Boy. Now I am nothing, nothing at all. Um, so in order to bring you this first game with Hot Potato versus Fleas, I have bravely sacrificed all of my Art of War and campaign progress in order to bring you this game. So just so you guys know what I clearly horribly sacrificed. Um, so we're actually going to get right into it with game one. This is going to be on Arabia between Hot Potato and Fleas. And we're going to go all visible. All right, so we're back. We're going to start off just talking about maps real quick. So both sides are fairly easily wallable. I actually really like this map gen. I think Fleas actually has a bit of the advantage here as far as map gen goes because both of his golds are in the back. This stone, I mean, it's maybe not the best. This stone definitely isn't the best. This stone, though, is pretty easily wallable. All he needs is a nice little wall here and a wall here to the edge of the map, and he's got no problem keeping this stone to himself. Hot Potato, unfortunately, has both of his golds a bit forward. Nothing that he can't wall off, but I still don't necessarily like it for him. He does have a rear stone, which is nice. Both players have found the majority of their animals. Looks like Fleas has a couple of sheep out here, and Hot Potato just found his. He will likely find these immediately after. Just in case nobody saw, so we've got Hot Potato as the Britons and Fleas as the Lithuanians. So both archer civs. I mean, I can already kind of tell what we're going to be seeing here. One good thing, though, is if Potato scouts this correctly, he can simply wall off to here, and he's got himself another gold. Just a wall here and then here as opposed to a wall here. And he's got himself a nice little pocket of gold, a nice little pocket of map that Fleas won't be able to touch. Fleas, maybe not quite the same. I'd say this stone is a little bit easier for him to wall, but he's probably going to include that in any walling that he does. And this gold is going to be probably too much of a pain in the ass for him to directly wall to. But again, we'll see. We got a nice board pull from Fleas. Potato is beginning to pull his firstborn now. And both are producing pretty consistently from their town center. We do get a little bit of idle time here from Potato while he waits for the boar to come in. And there's really nothing he can do about that. Maybe he could have gone to a straggler tree or something. But he doesn't lose any villagers. It is a little close. That villager is getting a little down there. We're starting to see some walls from Hot Potato as well. What about Fleas? Fleas, it looks like his villager accidentally took one of his sheep. That is an unfortunate play right there. but we all know it happens. You forget about your villagers on food for 2 seconds, and all of a sudden you have a sheep just sitting out there. I would maybe have had him take at least another 1 or 2 villagers out onto his sheep, especially because he's trying to push boar as well. Or sorry, not push boar, push deer as well. But that's just me. We are not seeing any walling from fleas right away. And we are seeing 3 on wood, which leads me to believe this might be some sort of scout build. We're definitely seeing archers from Hot Potato. That's just no-brainer. And we are likely going to see quite a bit of walling early on. Yeah, so again, you've got all your vills here on this sheep, but you still only got 1 here, fleas. Just as far as efficiency goes, that also hugely inefficient. You probably could have pushed that a little bit farther. But ultimately, neither of them is doing that badly. And I fully expect we've got Hot Potato at 19 vills, fleas at 19 as well. They should both be heading to Dark Age soon. We see Hot Potato is going to be grabbing Loom after this next villager comes out. So he will likely be going up to Dark Age right after that. Assuming he has the food, of course, which he does not. He does not have it. He's collecting from this boar, so hopefully he will have it in a moment. But he does not have the 500 food necessary to go up to feudal. That could be damaging. He's making a gatehouse, which, fair enough, but I don't think you really need a gatehouse at the point where half your map isn't walled yet. And we are now seeing a barracks for Hot Potato. Again, a little bit more idle time here. And Potato is about to lose his scout. Potato loses his scout. Yeah, that's unfortunate. We see Potato laughing a little bit. Maybe he just had him on auto scout, or maybe he had him running to waypoints and just didn't see it. It is what it is. We're gonna see Potato trying to maybe keep the scout out, and they're both on their way to feudal age. We do see that although Potato reached his villager cap a little bit before Fleeze actually managed to squeeze out a second villager and go faster to feudal age. That's a little unfortunate for Potato. And again, I mentioned this early in the game. If Potato had made this wall there instead of here, or here instead of there, he would have had this gold. Can we see what he sees? Okay, so Potato has not scouted out this area, and that's why he unfortunately makes his wall here. This scout is either going to die or be forced to run away because it can't fight 3 villagers with a loom. But it doesn't matter because we're about to see a barracks and probably a stable very quickly from Fleeze. Maybe an archer range. But Fleeze does not appear to be doing anything. Does he? He has the resources. He just is not making a military building. Meanwhile, we have Potato building an archery range, and Potato is now full walled. So good on Potato. Okay, here we go. Here's a stable from Fleeze. I imagine we're going to start seeing scouts, and I'd like to see a second archery range from Potato directly after this. He built it with 3 vills. I assume he was anxious to get up there, thinking he's probably a bit far behind. But we're hoping to see some spears. We are seeing some spears from Potato. Okay. So, this scout isn't going to do anything. He's likely going to wait for the rest of the scout rush. Are we seeing any? We are seeing scouts from Fleeze. Fleeze has just automatically queued up 5 scouts. But again, Potato is full walled. So, there's only so much a scout rush is going to do against an opponent that's full walled. Especially if your opponent knows you're going scouts and has started making spearmen. So, I mean, honestly, if I were Fleeze at this point, if I was playing it smart, I'd probably just... Okay, yeah, so he canceled all of his scouts. He knows he's not getting into Potato's base. He's going to conserve that food and attempt to go up to Castle Age that much earlier because he's not wasting, 400 or 500 food on scouts. In the meantime, he does have a couple of scouts so he can maybe run around and maybe get lucky, maybe break in. Hey, PK, how's it going? Alright, we're seeing decent economies from both players. Yeah, no problem. So we see 2 on gold for Fleeze, and we see 8 on gold for Potato. Obviously, Potato is going for an archer build, so it is vastly more likely. We have 3 archers coming forward for Potato over here. I didn't even see them. Oh, hey, Fleeze. So yeah, these villagers are going to be easily rangeable, but Hot Potato's mistake here, I would argue. Oh, well, yeah, well, first of all, Fleeze's mistake is not getting loom earlier. Whereas Hot Potato's mistake was not getting fletching before he went forward. This scout might be able to do a little bit of damage against the archers, but I think ultimately he will die against this archer pressure. And we're seeing a second lumber camp be built back on this little, very non-rangeable, tree line. This is going to get pretty inefficient pretty quickly. It might be in Fleeze's best interest to put a wall here and start taking wood back here, as opposed to crowding all of his vills here. And okay, so so Potato is unfortunately doing that thing that I hate to see people doing, which is using the archers that he has forward to attack a very strong building like barracks or a stable, or even a palisade gate, when he could be attacking, a palisade wall over here. But I guess it really just depends on how much exactly you've scouted, and Potato has not scouted that. If he had scouted a little bit more, he'd realize that that Fleeze actually hasn't been full walled and still isn't full walled, which could be very bad for Fleeze. Fleeze is on his way to Castle Age though, and that's going to make a big difference, assuming Potato doesn't do much damage here with his archers. He does have fletching now, and he has enough archers that he can make it very, very painful for Fleeze. Especially considering Fleeze has no military in return. We have 12 military to 0, and Hot Potato does not appear to be slowing down in producing villagers at all. Sorry, not villagers. Well, villagers and military, really. We've got both spears and archers in Fleeze's base, but Fleeze is gonna, Hot Potato is gonna try to get through this this small house wall, as opposed to just coming over to this side where we see there's villagers. I don't know if these villagers are planning on breaking out here, maybe making a little mini base. Fleeze, maybe you can shed some light on that. We've got 3 villagers over here just kind of chilling at a house, and it looks like you sent the rest of the vills from this lumber line back to here. Okay, so you just sent them back for the wood line. Fair enough, fair enough. Okay, and I see you did end up moving the villagers over here. It probably still would have been safer to throw in a little bit of a wall here. Then you wouldn't even have to bother over here, because there's still a hole in your wall right there. But Potato has nicely gotten Fleeze off of all of his gold. We're seeing Potato is also going up to Castle Age now as well, but we are seeing a siege workshop from Fleeze. I imagine we're going to see a couple of mangonels coming out. Let's go over to Fleeze. Yep, mangonels on the way, which if he gets in a couple of nice shots in, can easily take care of all of these archers. I wonder if now we'll see some knights as well. Fleeze will have to get his villagers back on gold. But in the meantime, he's going to keep losing them to Potato's larger and larger growing army of archers. He's going to need a really, really nice shot with this mangonel, and we're about to see if it works. We got a miss there, but he needs to be aiming at this big group of archers up here, and at the very least just keeping them away from his villagers. If he can keep these away from his villagers, I mean, it won't matter. Ooh, we see some nice micro from Potato. Fucking micro nerd. Decent hit. Decent hit there. Fleeze is repairing his mangonel and not making another one. So Fleeze is currently not producing anything, and that's definitely due to lack of gold, but he's not even making villagers at this point either. Ooh, and a big hit from Fleeze! Oh, that makes a huge amount of difference. Potato is left with 4 archers after that massive mangonel hit. That was an amazing shot. That basically cleared Fleeze's base. You know, there's very little pressure now after that, and we see now Fleeze is producing villagers again. But Potato is going up to crossbow with Bodkin, and he's still producing archers, and now he's producing archers out of 2 ranges. We've got 1, 2 ranges, both producing crossbowmen now. Crossbowmen with Bodkin. Potato, you forgot your double bit X in Feudal Age. I see how it is. I didn't see Fleeze getting his upgrades for eco, but you never know. He's going to lose a couple more villagers here. He's not quite safe, but if he can get some nice shots with the mangonel, he won't have to worry about these archers anymore. And honestly, that's at this point, that's what he needs. Hot Potato again, firing out of barracks with his crossbowmen. Maybe he's just having them sit there, but it's kind of unnecessary. These archers are definitely getting their due. They are definitely doing some damage, even just a small number of them. But Fleeze is going to clear them up with his mangonel. That mangonel has been putting in some work, and we're seeing Fleeze now with 3 TCs. Potato is at 2 TCs, unless I'm missing something. And we're just going to probably see some boom behind each one. We're going to see some knights from Fleeze. And Fleeze is going to start cleaning up some of these archers. However... Uh-oh. Oh, okay. We get a... Damn, Potato, you are a micro nerd. Like, all these splits, this fancy shit. Fleeze does not want to lose this single mangonel. He's constantly repairing it. And again, we're seeing Fleeze not producing military. Hot Potato has a large amount of crossbowmen coming in. He's been cleared out of Fleeze's base, but I mean, we're not seeing any military production here from Fleeze. Looking around, if Hot Potato, if he can scout this area. He has not yet scouted up here, but he is moving his archers in. If his archers can find this little mini base from Fleeze, he can cause a huge amount of damage to Fleeze. But instead, he's going to fire at the TC. From just out of range of the TC, which is nice. But, I mean, ultimately, that's not going to do much for him. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, when you get you get some unfortunate splits, you're going to get hit by that mangonel over and over again. So right now we're seeing a pause in military production from both parties. We're going to see Fleeze maybe sending his knights to do a little bit of raiding. Hot Potato getting closer and closer to finding all of these villas sitting defenselessly. But he's going to turn back seeing, oh, this might just be an unfortunate mistake from... Fleeze. Maybe he had a gather point set on the gold. But these archers are going to take the hill. So, Potato, you definitely need to build a university here and maybe get some ballistics because you're missing a lot. Oh, I missed a huge hit from the mangonel. Oh no! Oh, these archers are just getting cleaned up by Fleeze. Oof! I didn't even see that. But there's not much to see. It looks like the archers got a little too close to the TC, and then maybe Potato was dealing with something else. And suddenly he has 1 archer, and the military is back in favor of Fleeze with 3-2, and there's nothing Potato can do about that. Obviously, except produce more archers. But now it seems he's teching into knights. He's getting husbandry, but yeah, it looks like he's going for a few knights, perhaps to counter the knights that he knows are out there from Fleeze. But I'm not seeing more spearmen. Or maybe, even a castle. Let's see. Do we have any? So we don't have the resources for a castle for either party yet. Each of them have anywhere between 7 and 8 on gold. Oh, we have 11 on gold for hot potato. Let's see. Hot potato has requested. Oh, that's for fleeze. Yeoman. I'm not entirely sure where yeomen are, because I'm not entirely sure what yeomen are. But if you want to tell me in the chat real quick, I will gladly pause real quick and check the chat, the tech tree for you. Oh, okay, yeah, you need text. Yeoman. I imagine that's probably going to be in here. Castle text, gotcha. Yeoman, it does not appear you have it, but it is available in Castle Age. Alright, so back to the game. Potato is going to again send his archers out, but we're starting to see some knights and skirms, most importantly skirms, coming from fleeze. That will likely, if he can get enough of them, he's certainly massing them. Certainly going to present a challenge for Hot Potato's archers, which he's trying to sneakily send along the side here, I'm guessing. I just heard either I clicked on a relic. Nope, somebody's definitely grabbing some relics. The question is where? Hot Potato has 2 relics very near his base. Okay. Fleeze is making some monks, probably to try to take them. He's got a relic here. Less of a relic here, but still sort of. And that's about it. I don't know if Hot Potato has made... He has made a monastery, so we're going to see knights on knights. And Hot Potato is maybe looking to drop a fort castle here. I will, in fact, check if you get that tech. I imagine, yep, he's going to put it up right here. A nice defensible position. He's got to be careful. This Mangonel could take out his archers if he doesn't keep close enough to it. And worse, that Mangonel could take out his villagers. Oh, be careful, Potato. Okay, he takes down the one Mangonel, but unfortunately the other Mangonel and the skirms are not going to let him do that. And we're going to see some military transferring over to this side. More crossbowmen and even some knights are showing up from Potato. Potato, you need to move these archers and let your knights do their job. That Mangonel is going to go down, but there's a lot of skirms here that may not be able to take out, or they might be able to take out these archers. Ultimately, I mean, this is a pretty good battle. Hot Potato is sneakily taking away all the relics. He's kind of forgetting this one. Alright, and yes, it looks like Hot Potato is going to grab Yeoman, very first thing, and then he's going to grab some British longbowmen. That castle is going to force Fleeze's army back a little bit, but Fleeze doesn't seem concerned, and he's just going to put up a counter castle right here in case Hot Potato breaks through. And ultimately, we see Fleeze here building out along the side. Fleeze does have the advantage in villagers with 7 more villagers at this point. We are looking at... let's see. There we go. We're looking at 35 minutes into this game, and we're seeing 21 military from Hot Potato and 15 from Fleeze. Hot Potato's got to be careful here because that castle is going to damage his knights pretty badly if he tries to go in. We see a forward siege workshop, and he's making mangonels. It might behoove him to start making some rams as well. Take down that castle. We're seeing some armor for Hot Potato, and it looks like we're just seeing some more booming from Fleeze. We're looking at a 12 vil Yeah, mangonels for skirms. That makes sense.
Ready.
But you do have your knights that frankly could wipe out most of the skirms either way. So Hot Potato is just upgrading his knights. He's going to, it looks like, keep that raid from going out. And he has 8 knights and 9 crossbowmen. If he just kind of went over here, that's not even walled, not defended by a castle, not defended by a TC. He could send his multitudes of knights right over into this gap right here, and at least clean up a large number of villagers. We're seeing Potato getting some of his eco techs, making some more longbowmen, but ultimately I feel like they're both maybe just gearing up to go imp. Hot Potato certainly seems like he's saving his resources for that. Fleeze, maybe not quite as much. He's just going straight up Castle Age, trying to produce knights. I'm trying to find where he's saving them. Okay, so he has decided to go. Looks like maybe full Castle Age, get as many knights as he can, and probably get as many skirms as he can too. Potato lands some okay hits. Doesn't seem to be affecting the skirms much, but he is going to lose a significant portion of his knights here, and that could be a big problem for Potato. What's your expo range? Let's see. I don't think you have any crossbows left. Okay, you do. 5+4. I was gonna say I don't think you have any crossbowmen left after that, but apparently you do. You still, Potato does still have plenty of knights, but Fleeze is housed at the moment. So we are likely going to see Potato catching up a little bit in villagers. Potato now at 1, 2, 3, and maybe 4. Yep, 4 TCs. Whereas we have still looks like 3 for Fleeze. But Fleeze does have a much larger villager count with 117 to 97. We're going to see a second defensive castle from Fleeze. And the knights here need to, dive in and maybe take some villagers before this much larger force of knights comes in and wipes them out. It looks like maybe Potato forgot about these knights. And maybe the computer is auto-taking this fight, but that is not a fight Potato wants to take. There's just so many more knights for Fleeze. And Potato looks like he's going to try to get as much damage as he can on these villagers, but ultimately he's just going to be swarmed by enemy knights, and that invading force is going to be taken out. Potato sending a monk down to grab the last of the relics. It looks like Potato has 3 relics, and he's going to grab the 4th. Meanwhile, we have Fleeze with 0 relics. So that could potentially make a difference later on in the game. Especially because Fleeze is running out of gold in his base. He does still have this, but this is much more exposed. Even with his knights running around, this is much more exposed than any of this. I mean, he still has a couple thousand gold here, but this will run out fairly quickly with 15 vills on gold. Oh, sorry, that's wrong person. With 35 vills on gold, that's going to run out a lot quicker. And we see Hot Potato now going up to Imperial Age. So I imagine we're going to start seeing some trebs. We're going to start seeing a lot more longbowmen. And we are seeing a second castle coming up for Hot Potato, as well as that second castle going up for Fleeze. Again, Potato is hitting this house right here. He could be going in, and worse, that monk could have been taking some of Potato's knights. So we're seeing a little bit of distraction on both players' parts. We're seeing some raiding over here by Fleeze. That definitely hurts with Hot Potato's already lower vill count. But it doesn't look like he got too many of the vills over here. But when these knights get into Potato's economy, that could hurt quite a bit, especially because Potato just has a couple of light cav. And we're seeing some mini bases set up by Fleeze, whether it be for lumber or gold. And here we see Fleeze really putting his higher number of villagers to work. Again, Fleeze maybe not attacking this is your best option. Perhaps just using these knights to dive in and do some damage to Potato's economy. You're already looking at almost a 30 vil lead. There's no reason not to just do a little bit of damage with a couple of knights, because now you're just Fleeze here is just on the way to Imperial Age, though he does have a large army of knights. He has almost 30 knights just kind of chilling here. So these knights need to move. They need to do something. We are going to see some more knights gallivanting through Potato's economy, but I would argue that's not enough. We need to see... There we go. So the knights are on the move. We see Potato with some light cav. Again, these light cav need to be doing something. They need to be raiding. The longbowmen are going to try to defend. We're going to see some attempts at quick walls here. It actually is a very successful quick wall, and all of Fleeze's knights are currently trapped. They do manage to escape, but there's no holes on this side. There's nothing they can do on this side. They're going to take out maybe... Oh, they're not even going to get this this monk. They're not even getting Potato's stone. So that raid was very successfully deflected just by a couple of house walls from Potato. So, you know, nice move there. So we see Potato has plenty of light cav here. These should be going in and raiding some economy, especially raiding up here. Potato knows that this is up here. He does know that that's up there, right? Oh, Potato still doesn't know that this is up there. He can see some farms over here, but he still doesn't know that all of this is up here. And now the knights are attacking Potato's base again. They do get some kills around the stone. And they're going to break through over here. It's going to take a little while, but there's nothing that Potato has over here that will be able to do anything. We're seeing some, maybe some, is that halbs or pikemen? There's a pikeman taking down the knights, so we're going to see some cleanup over here, but the skirms are coming in now. Oh my. Okay, they're both getting all kinds of technology. We see Potato producing trebs. We see Fleeze getting some different techs, tower shields. His pikemen are trapped in Fleeze's skirms are trapped in his own base, but Potato is shooting at the barracks instead of shooting at the skirms, so he loses a ton of crossbowmen right here. Meanwhile, the knights are just running rampant. They're just running rampant. It doesn't matter that Potato has Cavalier. There's 26 knights in the back of his base. His economy is stalled out. I mean, that Cavalier isn't going to do anything. And suddenly, now it's 26 Cavaliers for Fleeze in the back of Potato's base. All he has to do is patrol them in. And nothing matters anymore. Potato's economy is going to be stagnant from here. And we can already see a lessening of production. This castle may go down. This castle does go down. So at this point, it's really a matter of who can push hardest, fastest. And we're going to see Fleeze leaves his raiding over here. Potato doesn't have really much in the way of villagers over there. And he's going to dive in here and do as much damage as he can. And we're seeing 106 vills to 76. It doesn't matter that Fleeze's castles went down. Fleeze's economy is still working perfectly. Potato gets his vills back out, but the damage has been done. Those 26 Cavalier did their job. We're seeing a bit of idle time from Fleeze, but I mean, this castle's gonna go down. Oh boy, I have no idea how this game is gonna end. Just because both of them seem to be fairly evenly matched here. Yeah, I mean, Potato's economy definitely suffered some damage from that. He's got, what, 4 or 5 on wood over here? Another 9 on wood here.
Ready.
25 total on wood, 29 on food, and 15 on gold, 0 on stone. So these castles are not getting replaced. And I think we're just going to start to see Potato is going for more villagers. We've got villagers out of 5 TCs, but it might be too little too late. We've got 2 armies here. Fairly equal number of Cavaliers, but the the archers are countered by skirms. And we're seeing skirmishers versus elite skirmishers. That's no challenge whatsoever. And it looks like Fleeze is going to clean up Potato's army here. It looks like the Trebs are already down. Fleeze is going for Fleeze is going for some towers. And it looks like he's got a relic out. But he is no longer in Potato's base. Potato's base suffered a little bit of damage, but does... Okay, I gotta see. Does Potato see this either? Potato does not see this gold right below his base. And Potato is more or less out of gold except for this little pile here. And Fleeze is on every other gold on the map. So Potato's scouting definitely costs him here. And we're seeing another dive-in raid from Fleeze. We're seeing some light cav, we're seeing some cavalier. Takes out one of Potato's mangonels. We're seeing some skirmishing over here, but the skirmishers are just going to take out these pikemen. You know, he'll sacrifice a couple of cavalier to keep the pikemen off of his back, but these skirmishers will deal with the pikemen fairly easily. But then again, these trebuchets are going to take down a bunch more of Fleeze's buildings. We're seeing Potato is going to try to make a little mini base to get this stone from amidst a couple of stables from Fleeze. We'll see if Fleeze notices that. But Fleeze just has cavalry everywhere. He's taking resources from everywhere on the map. You know, we're starting to see some more raids into Potato's only source of gold because he hasn't yet scouted. You know, we've got 2,400 gold right there. And we're just seeing a slowing of production. Look at all that's being produced, whether it just be light cav and skirms versus, you know, arbs and maybe some pikemen. We are seeing Potato lose his military fairly quickly. We're looking at 68 military to 23 in favor of Fleeze, and almost double the villagers for Fleeze. I mean, at this point, we're going to see, I'm thinking that we're going to see some economy just winning. We've got light cav raiding Potato on this side on the stone. He doesn't have the resources for another castle yet. I don't even know where he'd put it if he did. We might see a couple of conversions down here. But again, I don't think it's going to matter all that much. There's just so much more military for Fleeze. We're seeing we're seeing some bombard cannons come out. Just look at the number of skirms sitting right here. And we see Potato calling the GG in game 1. Alright, so that was a pretty intense game. That was back and forth for a long ways there. If I had to say, I'd say Fleeze maybe needed to be a little bit more aggressive. He was on the defensive most of that time before he started raiding, around 45 minutes or so. But that might have just been because Potato was so aggressive. And Potato, just your scouting. I mean, if we look at this, I guess we can't see it with the Fog of War, but Potato never found this. That's a solid 15 villagers just undefended. And he didn't find the gold outside of his own base. Which again, had he initially walled right here, he would have just had all of that gold right to himself. But I would say good game from both of them. And I will set up the next game and be right back. Yeah, Matt, I'm just a regular gamer. All right, so we're going into game 2 between Hot Potato and Fleeze, and this is going to be a game on Yucatan. So Hot Potato lost his match. Yeah. I'm back, don't worry. I never really left. I just had to set it up so people don't get any inkling of what's going on here. So we are going to see a Yucatan game because Potato lost lost the first match. He gets to pick the one of his home maps for the second game. And just before we start the game, I'm going to take a quick look at the maps here because I've been told it's a little bit unfortunate. So both players get easily wallable maps. That's no surprise on Yucatan. And Potato, it does seem has a couple of back gold, which is quite nice, and a couple of back stone, which is also nice. Uh, and it's a little bit the opposite. We have that's still pretty easily wallable, but we have some awkwardly placed gold here, and 2 back stone for fleas. However, the one thing that I would mention is that this is a Mongols war, so both players are playing as Mongols, and I mean that's pretty much the meta pick for this map. But this is why we play Mongols on this map. We have 8 deer on both sides. Each deer is worth 140 food, and that will all be collected much quicker and more efficiently because of Mongols. So if somebody were to drop a mill here and a few villagers, that's a lot of extra food. That man, I don't want to do math right now. That's something like 1,200 extra food or something. Uh, for the players to take, which will get them up to different ages much quicker. Now, what I wanted to mention is that because we have these 8 deer here in the back for fleas, this is going to be a fairly safe spot for him to take his hunt. But Potato has his deer outside of his easily wallable range, and frankly in a much worse position. Uh, that's going to make it a lot harder for him to safely take his deer. We may see something from fleas, maybe a scout rush that takes any villagers taking these deer. We're not allowed to lame in this tournament, so we don't have any problems with somebody coming and sending a couple of scouts and just killing these deer. But it is still a possibility that the villagers that are attacking it are not going to be having a good time. So here we go. We're going to start. So one of the big other things about this map is you get a shitload of turkeys, like a cubic shitload of turkeys, on top of 3 boar, I believe. 1, 2, yep, 3 boar and a cubic fuckload of turkeys, as well as the 8 deer. And since Mongols gather food much faster, that's why you see a lot of people playing Mongols. I'm interested to see what the strategies here are. We're seeing some scouting with a turkey. Oh, it looks like Potato is maybe Potato is maybe looking at how his hotkeys were messed with by the new patch, or by switching back to the old patch rather. I'm less concerned about my hotkeys switching to this patch and more concerned about my precious Art of War progress, which is unfortunately now deleted. I am no longer a golden boy, so look forward to an episode of that in the future of me crushing the Art of War challenges for the 3rd time, because this is actually the 2nd time I've switched to this patch in the last 4 or 5 months. So we're going to see. I'm assuming we're going to see another scout build from Fleas, and maybe one from Hot Potato this time. They're both playing as Mongols, so a decent opener would be scouts. But either could go for archers as well, especially if they're going Mangadai. It might be more beneficial for them to start with some archer aggression. But I suppose we'll see. Hot Potato probably just now realizing that his hunt is in an awful location. And we're going to see just mainly scouting for now. Oh, wow. Okay, so these might be extra boar. Yeah, okay. So those boar down here are extra boar for fleas. Do we see anything of the like for Hot Potato? I'm not seeing extra boar for Hot Potato. So okay, Hot Potato's extra boar over here, which is a little bit farther than these are for fleas. If fleas can discover these, he might be able to plop down another mill here and get an extra 700 food out of it. So yep, we are going to see 3 on wood, which indicates generally that you're going for scouts, and 4 on wood for Potato. So maybe we will see some archer aggression from Potato. We're going to see likely a mill being dropped right here. That's probably why Fleas has sent this build down here. Yep, and it's a mill. So fleeze will likely send probably 5, 6, maybe even up to 8 villagers down here just to start taking all of these deer. And we're already seeing the beginnings of some house walls for fleas. Potato also walling up a little bit. And he is not going to be milling his deer yet. We're going to see him covering up some holes. He doesn't have to worry about the back of his base. He's got this one little hole in the trees. I would argue that Potato has probably the better base to wall. He doesn't have to worry about here. He just has to wall here and here. And his base is all set. Whereas Fleeze has quite a bit more to wall. That tree is saving him entirely from a hole being here. He has no holes on this side, but he has a lot of open space here, some open space here, some more open space here, and so on. So I definitely say that Potato is going to have an easier time walling his map. And we see one villager down here taking the deer for Fleas. I can't say I agree with that move. It's possible that Fleas just forgot. Nope, he's going to be sending 2 more. Okay. And now he's sending his villas for straggler trees because his turkeys are too far away. And maybe we'll see him sending another. Yep, we'll see him sending his other turkeys. And yeah, we'll see him start to send all of his turkeys a little bit forward. I think he does not want. Yeah, a gaggle of turkeys. So I think what we're seeing is last game we had Fleas accidentally taking a sheep that he didn't want to take. So likely what we're seeing is he's being a little overly cautious here and trying to keep his turkeys as far away from these evil villas as he can. But we see he does now have 3 villagers down here. We see some scout action, but this is not going to, unless Potato is not paying attention at all, this isn't going to result in a dead vill. It's just going to prevent Potato from walling just a little bit. We see a lot of idle time though from Potato, who is now going up to feudal age, but Fleas is already there. Fleas has been taking his deer. Fleas is already there. And we're going to see Potato, good guy Potato here. He sees one of Flea's turkeys, and instead of breaking the rules and laming, he's actually going to be a good guy and just send the turkey forward towards Flea's base. That's some sportsmanship right there. That's a real classy move. Not just leaving where they are, actually sending them to your opponent's base. Be like, yeah, you know, I'm good enough that I'm gonna give you your turkeys. You know, we'll see how it goes for him. But again, we're gonna see Potato is not fully walled yet, despite having a bit of an easier time walling his map. And instead of choosing to wall diagonally here, he's choosing to wall over his stone, which is certainly an interesting choice. It might make walling a little bit faster, but you could just put some walls right here instead of going across here, and you would have access to your stone. So we are starting to see the scouts come out for Fleas. If we look over at Fleas real quick, we're going to see he has many scouts built, and it's much different from last time because Potato isn't walled up yet. And Potato's not going to be able to wall up yet. He might complete this gate, but he's got a gaping hole right here, and more scouts are going to arrive by the minute. Potato's got a couple of spearmen out. We're seeing double bit axe from both players, horse collar from Potato. Potato's probably looking at investing in some farms since he can't take his hunt. And again, we see Fleas seems to have an interesting thing about taking his smaller gold first. I don't know if that's just trying to get it before aggression starts. Potato's going to clean this up real quick. Now he's finally full walled, and he's going to start producing archers. But I really want to talk about this real quick. Fleas, in the last game and this game, he's been taking his smaller section of gold first. And I don't know if that's just a kind of he wants to avoid aggression and grab this early, or if that's maybe how he learned how to play. But he does have his big gold here, much closer and much safer to his TC that he could be taking instead of this gold. So I don't really know what's going on there. Potato, it looks like, is going to be... Oh, Fleeze, sorry, is going to be walling much farther forward. Likely in an attempt to... Oh, we've got this huge wood line here. Now I see why he's walling here. So Fleeze here... Fleeze is going with the... I would almost say these are... I don't want to say disrespect walls, but they're certainly greed walls. Because, I mean, there's nothing else to say about these. These are some greedy ass walls. Fleeze isn't, you know, he's not walling his own base. He's walling half the map across. And now he's producing archers to pressure Hot Potato. This archer can't quite range anything yet, but I don't believe he has fletching. And this scout could probably be doing better against that palisade wall, but we'll just let him continue chipping away at the archer range's 1500 health compared to the 200 health of the palisade wall. That's fine. We're fine here. You could have broken in. You could break in. Even the palisade gate only has 400. Please, what are you doing? That's not gonna do anything, bud. Okay, that's a personal pet peeve of mine that even I have to kind of break out of. Is you don't need to attack. If you've got 4 scouts, they're not gonna destroy an archery range, or in most cases even a house fast enough. But you've got exposed palisade walls all over the place. You can break through that with some scouts pretty easily. And it's just kind of a waste. Yeah, we're seeing Fleeze is continuing with his very, very greedy walling. But he's also attacking Potato. Potato's going to get some house walls up, but Potato's also housed. I guess it's probably a good thing he's getting house walls up, huh? So these scouts will fail to break in here. But now Fleeze is getting fletching, and Potato is going for wheelbarrow. Which is probably right around the right time choice you want. Potato realizing that they're probably going to get in here and is perhaps just going to make some house walls to try to lure him forward towards the TC. And you'll see that a lot. Players who know that they can't wall their entire backline in time, you'll see them kind of trying to turn them towards the TC, where the TC fire can try to potentially take out at least some of the opposing force. We are seeing some spearmen for Potato to defend off these scouts, but it doesn't matter because there's archers behind the scouts. We've got 3 skirms, but they're nothing against the scouts. So we've got definitely a bad comp, I suppose, going against each other. The archers here are getting hung up on the skirms, but these scouts are just going to outrun the spearmen. Yeah, it's definitely not a good map gen, Potato. And I think Fleeze is definitely taking full advantage of that. Potato is likely going to clean up this problem in his base. He might lose a couple more villagers if Fleeze is a little wily about it, but Potato's got enough military to clear that up. The problem is that Fleeze is now officially walled off half the map. Like I said, this is probably the greediest walling I've seen, especially in a low elo game. That's some insane greed right there. We're gonna see again, these archers aren't really doing anything. They're firing on a lumber camp. They can't quite range these villagers, so it looks like Fleeze is either going to come around or try to do something. These 2 scouts are just going to do nothing. Yep, the scouts are down. So now all Potato has to do is archers, but I definitely think it hurt Potato that he couldn't take this 1200 food. Meanwhile, you know, all of that hunt was taken by Fleeze, as well as half the map. I still can't get over these walls, guys. Like, holy shit, he just went for it. He absolutely fucking went for it. He saw that there was no aggression, and he just went for taking as much of the map as he could get away with, and it worked. We're going to see Castle Age coming in for Potato. at about 21 minutes, and we're going to see in about 2 minutes, we're going to see Castle Age for fleeze. But the question is, can they do anything with it? Hot Potato does not have the gold for a castle, so he can't, does not have the stone for a castle, so he can't go Mangadai. We're going to see a market, so we're probably going to see some market abuse coming up for Hot Potato. We're seeing 2 TCs. This is his chance to get out ahead of Fleeze, but again, we see Hot Potato at 30 Vils and Fleeze at 46. That's just a huge economy difference at this point in the game. We're going to see an archer just chasing this Vil forever, in perpetuity. That's got to be... I hope Potato isn't taking the time to micro this and is just kind of going to let her die. Because he's got some much bigger problems, frankly. But he's got his 3 TCs up. He is getting a castle up somewhere, I hope. Nope, it does not appear so. He had the stone for his TCs, but he does not for a castle. And as if he's Mongol, he wants to go Mangadai. Yep, this... Oh, jeez. Hot Potato... You spent way too much time microing that Vil. Don't get me wrong, it's funny. Oh, you shift-clicked her around. Okay, that's a little bit better and definitely hilarious. But eventually Fleeze caught up with you. And Fleeze is just unmolested at his base. He's just going to probably going to boom pretty hard here. He does not have the wood, though, to make more TCs. So Potato is an advantage there. And he's beginning to close that Vil gap. We see Potato getting a couple of techs. But Fleeze is going straight for crossbow. Fleeze wants those crossbows. He wants to be able to do maximum amount of damage to Potato's economy. Potato, however, now has enough for a castle. He's not making a castle yet, but he has enough for a castle. I don't know. He'll probably make one defensively, given how much pressure he's been facing. Yep, we're going to see a nice defensive castle right here in front. I might have at this point made it maybe more towards this area, just because this is where he's been attacking. And you definitely need to protect these Vils over here, especially because it seems like, okay, Potato's going to move them eventually. So we're seeing Fleeze just taking more and more of the map control, though. He's got outposts on all the wood lines, making sure no one cuts through. He's got houses on the extra gold and extra stone. He's harassing Potato's economy on the left side. And not quite harassing on the right side, but he's got military on the right side. If he moved this crossman over to here, he'd be much more annoying. Potato going for elite skirm, that's probably the right move, knowing his opponent. But neither one... Let's see if Fleeze has the resources. Fleeze also does not have the resources. It looks like he's going to make a castle somewhere. Is he going to drop one on Potato somewhere? He's sending a good number of villagers forward. I'm curious as to where this castle is going to be. Because it looks like he placed it somewhere already, but I can't see the foundations for it. We're going to see... Okay, so the castle's going up. We're seeing fletching and Mangadai from Potato, and that's exactly what you want to see as someone playing Mongols. You want to see Mangadai. Alright, where's this castle going up? Okay, Fleeze has sent these villagers over here, and presumably he's going to make a castle somewhere. I guess not. I guess he doesn't have the stone yet. He's only got 2 on stone on his entire base, so maybe he actually just legitimately didn't have the stone. He's going to start taking these resources here. We saw that in the last game. Fleeze is a very big fan of taking all of the forward resources as quickly as he can. He still hasn't even touched. Okay, he's barely touched this big gold here. And I guess maybe that was a strategy, because all of his men on this gold are gone. He's still harassing Potato. He's going to take some more Vil picks. But it's going to be a little bit slow because he's only got 3 archers over here. But look at that. Look at 33 archers, or 33 villagers just queued up for Fleeze. I mean, you could have gone imp with that, frankly, or just like bought a shitload of, you don't need this many Vils queued at the same time. That's just kind of a waste of food. But we are going to see maybe some striking back from Potato, because Potato is producing Mangadai. He's got 7 of them with Bodkin, with Presumably, do I see a stable? Has Potato made a stable yet? Ooh, Potato might not have blood. Let's check. Does Potato have bloodlines? Okay. So, we're going to see these archers be cleaned up fairly easily by the Mangudai. Mangudai, most OP unit in the game. But honestly, that might not matter too much. It's just going to clear up a little bit of harassment, but we're going to see a TC over on these resources here. And 7 Mangudai is not enough. Potato definitely needs to get more Mangudai. Preferably set up the second castle that he has the stone for. Maybe putting it up in a more forward position. We're going to look at what Potato's scouting looks like. Obviously, Potato can't see any of the map because Fleeze's greedy walls have taken this entire part of the map, but Potato doesn't even know there's stuff down here. He doesn't even know that Fleeze has blatantly taken a bunch of his resources and just has guys out in the open here. We're going to see Potato is probably in awe at this point, but he can range these villagers if he cared to look, but he runs past, just passing. He's going to soon find out that there is no passage. No passage for his Mangudai here. What is this? He's got a... I wonder if that was a misclick. Oh, there's a hole! There's a hole! Oh, Fleeze, all that greedy walling for nothing. There's a hole. Oh, he forgot to wall in his lake. There might even be a hole on this side, too. Oh, Fleeze. Okay, so we got a couple of cavalry archers in there. I don't know if those are misclicks or what. But I was mistaken previously. He's only got 5 Mangudai. More are coming in, so we're going to see more Mangudai on the way. And Potato has built his second castle somewhere. Yep, he's building his second castle here and maybe looking to do some greedy walling of his own. And Fleeze immediately realized there was a hole there and has sealed that hole. I don't know if the hole on this side is taken, though. Potato just kind of sitting back here with his Mangudai. These need to be in the back of Fleeze's economy, at least scouting out the area. These need to be doing something, as opposed to fighting a losing battle with some skirms over here. They're going to try to break in, but ultimately this is not nearly as important as having all of these already in the back of Fleeze's base. But we are going to see ballistics. We're going to see continued expansion. But again, Potato, man, you're not producing vills. It looks like you just remembered, but it doesn't matter. Fleeze is already 40 vills ahead of you. Fleeze is on 2, maybe 3. He's got a 3rd TC up here. He's on 3 TCs, but you beat him there, and you lost that villager war, man. That's a 40 vill lead. You're just kind of setting yourself up for failure at that point, unfortunately. As much as I disagreed with Fleeze's queuing 30 vills at once, I mean, it gave him 30 vills, and he didn't have to worry about it for a while. So who am I to talk? These siege workshops, I guess they're okay. They're not quite as forward as they could be. And now Potato is finally raiding back here. We missed the beginning of it, but it looks like he wiped a bunch of villas out of the wood line. He hasn't found Fleeze's farms back here, but he's pretty effectively idled a good portion of Fleeze's economy. He's going to take Fleeze entirely off stone. Fleeze does not have enough for another castle. Potato is getting dangerously close to house as well. But most importantly, Hot Potato is just producing Mangudai. It's definitely food difference, that's true. Potato is producing Mangudai, and that's what you need to be doing as Mongols. Yeah, I mean, you got skirms, but the Mangudai can outrun the skirms. As you can see here, Potato's just going to run away. He doesn't need to fight this. There's no need for him to fight this at all, except if he wants to attack the house and give the skirmishers the hill. Okay, if he doesn't notice this quickly, his Mangudai down here are going to get wiped out. Okay, it looks like he noticed, and he's going to keep running away. We've got some Mangudai again attacking houses down here. I don't like that very much, but there's not much you can do. These Mangudai are taking some serious damage, and might even be, yeah, they're going to be almost entirely cleaned up by the skirms. These Mangudai are looking to maybe dive in. Fleeze has not fixed the hole here, but he has a castle here. He put up a castle here when Potato wasn't looking. This is going to damage the shit out of these Mangudai. I mean, Potato's going to try to micro around it because he's a fucking micro nerd. But there's nothing he can do. Potato says he was getting raided. Again, we're starting to see some Mangudai coming from Fleeze. But Potato can't get close enough to these villagers because of the two castles there. And we're again seeing the skirms come out. So these skirms have definitely been very useful for Fleeze and keeping Potato's superior Mangudai numbers at bay. And we're just going to start seeing Mangudai coming from Fleeze. Yeah. I want to check out Fleeze real quick. Yeah, we've got 16 Mangudai coming. And it looks like, what is that? Siege, or the Ram upgrade? Let's see, Castle Text. Yeah, we're going to see Nomad, so houses don't lose population when you're destroyed. I mean, I would argue that's maybe not the most pressing thing, rather than getting your Mangudai numbers up. But, I mean, hey, you do you. Alright, so we got some light cav up here for Fleeze. I think that's what Potato meant when he was getting, saying he was getting raided. And Potato is not fully walled up here. So he's going to see these 4 light cav potentially doing a little bit of damage, especially with his workers coming out here. But nope, the light cav are just going to attack this lumber camp and do nothing. Same as these Mangudai are going to do nothing down here. We're seeing another castle from Hot Potato. That's good. And we're seeing quite a bit of production. We're seeing 28 Mangudai queued for Fleeze, while Hot Potato has 3. And that's really, I think, the result of Fleeze's initial villager difference. Hot Potato has managed to catch up, at least mostly, but we're seeing the effects of, you know, a much better economy, frankly, from a much earlier time with Fleeze. And Fleeze is already halfway to Imperial Age. It looks like Hot Potato is saving up to go, but Fleeze has a large army of skirmishers to counter all the Mangudai that. Okay, this is bad. That's bad for Fleeze. That's very bad for Fleeze. I like that little move with getting the villagers out there. And Potato is going up to Imperial Age. He's about half the amount of time it takes to get to Imperial Age behind. But look at this. That's kind of a cool way to travel with them. But that is going to counter any other force of Mangudai. And again, we still have Hot Potato sitting down here with 7 Mangudai that he could be raiding. That he could be easily oh, is that a relic? No, that's not a relic. Is it a relic? No. Fleeze has sent his monk to the corner for some reason. And Potato is going to take that monk down fairly easily. We're seeing step lancers, boys. We're seeing some step lancers. Potato, I love you. I love your strategy. Yep, getting some step lancers out there, but still sitting. Maybe he's waiting for Imperial or for Elite Mangudai. But look at the Mangudai numbers coming from Fleeze. He's got 4 castles, all producing Mangudai at once. He's about to get conscription. It's going to make them produce even faster. I mean, that's 17 Mangudai there. 8 more Mangudai there. I mean, Fleeze is really producing. That's what I'm seeing here. Potato has a nice army coming up. He's got his rams. Those are definitely good. He's got 19 Mangudai and 4 step lancers, as well as some mangonels, presumably for the skirmishers. And with the castle focusing on the rams, unfortunately, there's counter Mangudai on the other side. They're just going to eat through the opposing siege. Look at that. Look at how easily those Mangudai just cut through siege. That's why Mangudai are stupid overpowered, beyond their firing rates, beyond everything else. They just eat siege. They eat siege for breakfast. And Potato's going to try to take the advantage of the hill, but Fleeze is just going to say, I don't need to fight that. I've got the bigger army. We fight where I want to. And frankly, Fleeze controls more of the map. These greedy walls. I'd like to see someone trying to push with maybe like a castle, or Hot Potato's got 1,200 stone, he could easily make 2 more castles. Maybe even like here. Even if you want another defensive castle, you know, he can maybe throw one up over here. We've got fleeze, castle dropping potato just a little bit. And I don't know if potato realizes this. I gotta see his fog of war. No, he knows. He knows there's a hole here. There's a hole here, potato. I hope that doesn't come back to bite you in the butt later. Potato is going to sit with his thing. Again, potato man. Okay, some of your step lancers, or some of your Mangadai are just going to automatically see this. But this is definitely more of an automatic thing, not a you noticed it thing. So I gotta hit on you a little bit for not using these Mangadai when you could. Especially because they could do so much damage just raiding the back of his base. Meanwhile, this castle goes up. Doesn't really affect too much. We're gonna see some trebbing, but I mean, look at this massive ass army from fleeze. I mean, it's gonna come to a head right here, but we're talking 34 Mangadai just right here alone. That's not counting all the skirms, all the trebuchets, all the light cav. Fleeze, if Fleeze had noticed this hole, or even, you know, just gone in with his light cav, he might have been able to get some solid raiding done. But he doesn't need to. And honestly, those Mangadai can range the trebuchet from there, so Potato's got to be very careful. But now Potato has 35 Mangadai loose in his base, and look at them just eat up the enemy units. I mean, this is very, very bad for Potato. Potato's trying to wall this, it looks like. But against 34 Mangadai, there's not a whole lot. Not a whole lot you can do. Maybe this is some pathing error. Yeah, we're just going to see villagers getting eaten by these. Light Cav getting eaten by these. We're seeing Potato losing a good deal of his Mangadai to skirms. This castle did go down for fleas. But I don't think he really needs it. He's still producing... Hot Potato's producing a absolute crap ton of light cav. It's just not working against the Mangadai though. Flea's going for elite Mangadai, going for murder holes, and now we're seeing, okay, we're seeing a lot of Hussar creation from Hot Potato. The only way that's going to make a difference though is if Potato starts sending those Hussars into his opponent's base, and he just can't do that. I mean, he's got a hole here, but he just, with the Mangadai in his base, he can't really afford to spend his military in any other way. We're seeing a couple of Mangadai get eaten by the Hussars and Castle here, but the majority of the Mangadai inside the base are still alive. Again, he's attacking houses when he could be attacking villagers. That's, again, not exactly what I would call the best way to play it. But yeah, they're just going to eat the Hussars alive. Again, you've got all these Mangadai back here. They're in such a good position, you could be raiding the back of your opponent's economy, but it seems like Potato forgot about them. We're going to see Hussars taking out some of the Trebs over here. It just might not matter. Potato's lost his castle. There's a big gaping hole in his wall. The Mangadai have continued in. Potato lost another castle here. Oh, this is just not good for Potato. This is going exceedingly poorly for Potato, and I think it all stemmed from, where are they? Are they still alive? No, it all stemmed from the fucking deer being right here. And unfortunately, that's just what we're looking at. Yep, we're seeing some raiding from Light Cav in Potato's economy, and we're just not seeing anything from aggressive from Potato. I think at this point he might be extremely tilted. You know, there's not much he can do. There's no production coming from Potato. We're still seeing some techs from fleas, and we're seeing about a 3,000 score difference. Again, we've got 112 villagers to 81. Potato's pop is below 100. I think we're going to see the GG pretty soon. I have a feeling there's going to be a GG pretty soon, and that'll bring fleas into the next round of Dark Age Cup. And I believe that will bring it to the round of 16. I could be wrong. Potato could bounce back. So, you know. But he's losing castles. He's got no military. Nobody's producing anything at this point. I wonder if there's I don't know if there's a chat going on. I don't see it. maybe some lag, but at this point, okay, so just oh, potato. Oh, potato, I love you. So potato's gonna build a wonder. He's gonna put everything he has into building this wonder. I think he definitely realizes this game is over, but he wants to go out in style. We're seeing a lot of style from this game. We're seeing the gritty walls. We're seeing the wonders being built. He's healing his villagers as he's building the wonder, and it looks like Fleeze just might want to let him have it. Fleeze is just gonna attack some houses and just kind of let Potato build his little wonder. I didn't expect to see any wonders being built in this tournament, but you know what? I'm goddamn glad you did. And I think Potato's probably going to wait till the wonder is built and then call the GG. Yeah, we're seeing... What are we seeing from Fleeze? We're seeing, looks like Hussars from Fleeze, and they're just going to start coming in. I wonder if he's going to... Oh, it looks like he might be making a push to stop the wonder from going up. Or maybe he's just pushing in how he normally would. Who knows? The point being, this wonder might not go up, and that might be the saddest thing of all. Oh, Potato with the quick walls! Potato with the quick walls! Oh, save your bills, Potato! Oh no, the Hussars are in. Oh no. Oh, the wonder's halfway there. Oh, please, you couldn't just let him have this. Oh no. Oh no. And the wonder's not gonna go up with all of these Hussars. Oh. Oh, that wonder's not going up. Fleeze is like, I do not want a wonder being built against me in this tournament. And he successfully defends against the wonder victory, and Potato is no more. That's a 8,000 point difference. We're talking 73 military to 6, 106 villagers to 0. I don't remember what 26 is. I guess we'll find out in just a second. But that's the game. And Fleeze moves on to the next round of Dark Age Cup. Good game to both players. Fleeze especially having won. That was a hell of a game, and your walls are probably the greediest walls I've ever seen at our level. So take that for what it is. Certainly the greediest walls of the tournament so far. And we're seeing here the massive difference economy makes. They didn't have too much of a difference in, Hot Potato had a smaller army at the end, obviously, but they didn't have too much of a difference in KD. But look at that economy difference. We've got 5,000 more food, which, speaks for itself. We've got 15,000 more wood, 1,500 more gold. We've got 1,500 more stone and 2,000 more gold. I mean, that's really all you can say. We've got maybe not similar times, but Hot Potato definitely suffered from not taking his hunt in Dark Age, and potentially even into Castle Age. And then, again, you can just see more economy for Fleece. All right. In the meantime, give me one moment and I will be right back. Please, those of you that are still around, consider following me here on Twitch. Trying to get up to 50 followers. And we also have a YouTube channel. The link is down below in the Twitch channel. So, hey, thanks, Fleece. Appreciate it. Yeah, so our next game is going to be game 1 of Weebmaster versus kevz. And I'm loading that up right now behind the scenes, and we are ready to go. All right, so we have Inca's Captain Weebmaster, and we have kevz as Britons. So very likely we are going to see a tower rush coming from Captain Weebmaster. I'd be disappointed if there wasn't. Oh, look at that cute little llama there. Llamas are the best. And we'll likely see some archer aggression from kevz. So, just taking a second to go over the maps. We have fairly wallable map for maybe not as well wallable as I would have liked from Captain Weebmaster. He definitely does not have a great gold position here or here, but he does have a nice little back gold here and a nice little back stone, as well as another nice little back stone. kevz, on the other hand, I would say if he goes for a little bit more greedy walls, he'll definitely be fine. It's a little bit more wallable. His golden stones are a little bit better defended. I would say overall I favor kevz for this map. As far as like maps go, we do see a lot of resources sitting down here. We see some relics sitting down here. This corner of the map, this is another weird Arabia map where we've got one side that's entirely mountainous and just flat ground between the two players. So I'm going to start the game. Oh, wow. So something... Shit, my bad. Admin win. JK, let's just do it. That's okay. Sorry about this. I'm very interested to see what they're talking about. Is Weebmaster here? Captain Weebmaster? I'm very curious as to what the situation was in the beginning of the game that that caused this. Maybe, huh? I don't know. I'd like to know. I'd like to know if Weebmaster or kevz are in the chat. What's going on at the beginning of this game that caused them to be joking about admin wins? I don't know. Maybe it was something in the pre-game lobby. Who knows? Pretty standard start from both parties. I definitely like kevz's lumber camp a little bit better. It's more towards the back. Definitely a little bit better defended. It's nicely fit into this little nook in the trees. Whereas Weebmaster is just kind of has a small blob of trees here. I mean, I don't blame him. There's not many other spots he could have gone to. But it is a little bit forward. That's something that I didn't notice before. A lot of Weeb's lumber is forward. He's got this nice little patch back here, so he's not in any rush to get towered or anything. Oh, kevz. Kevz, what did you do? It's a sheep massacre. Kevz, no. He massacred all of his sheeps. These poor sheeps. They've been killed. They've been killed off. Oh, that's horribly inefficient. He's gonna lose a bunch to rotting. It looks like we're seeing 4. Yep. So we're gonna see an archer start from kevz. Whereas it looks like we're going to see maybe scouts coming from Captain Weebmaster. No, never mind. He's Incas. We're not going to see any scouts from Incas. But maybe we'll see a tower rush. Come on, Weeb. I know you want to. Okay, and so this is another mistake. Weeb had killed his sheep, and he didn't time his boar lore correctly, so the sheep is just sitting there rotting. It's just kind of whiling away, and Weeb is not taking that meat. He could task 2 vills or 3 vills to take that sheep, and then when they're done, they can go back to the boar. But that's certainly not super efficient. We're seeing kevz starting to make some house walls. That's good. And again with the sheep massacres, Kev. What are you doing? You still have sheep over here to take, but you're taking your boar and you're taking the sheep. Oh, kevz. Oh, man. Oh. Yeah, look at that. It's just slowly rotting away. And now they're going to try to take it, but he lost a bunch of food there. We're going to see a second board being brought in for Weebmaster. Meanwhile, there is no second board for kevz because he's got all of these dead sheep just rotting away in the sun. Now we're seeing, some villagers being made for each one. But I'm just so sad about all these sheep. Please tell me you're not going to kill this sheep out here. Please tell me these villagers... Oh, no. Oh, no, kevz. Okay. Okay, kevz. Alright, at least you avoided one last bit of sheep massacre. Oh no! No, don't lose this bill!
Ready.
Oh, Kevz. This is not a great start for you, buddy. That's just not a great start. He might lose this Vil. He's gonna... Okay, he didn't quite lose the Vil. But it's still not an ideal start for Kevz. I don't like this wall.
Yay.
I think Kevz could have included this goal in the wall a little bit. Just to make his walls that much more defendable and even give himself access to this gold. Weeb has not yet begun to wall these houses. Probably could have been here instead, or over here. But either way, there's no walling from either of them. And Weeb is on his way to the feudal age. I guess we'll see how that goes. But Kevz just kind of looks like he stopped walling. Okay, he's making some more walls over here.
Ready.
It's not that big a deal.
Greeting.
But these walls are going to be a little bit hard to defend. Should we get some... Oh no, Captain Weebmaster. Captain Weebmaster has only just found with his scout where Kevz's base is. It's not like it matters. Oh, okay, we are definitely seeing a tower rush from the Inca player. That is not really a surprise, but it's always fun to see. And where's the first tower going? If I were him, I'd probably plop it right here. But then again, Kevz isn't walled. Kevz is not walled, so these villagers are probably going to plant it right here. That'd be probably the safest location to start off. You take the berries, you take the gold, and take the stone. And I think, and on top of that, that's one of the only places that Weeb has already sussed out. We're going to see some beginnings of walls, but it's not going to matter. There's 10 villagers, 10 Inca villagers coming up, and we're going to see, we're not seeing any upgrades yet, but we are going to see a tower. There's no denying we are going to see a tower pop up. Just where are we going to put it? Oh no, we're seeing Vil fighting. You don't fight Inca villagers with your own villagers. Oh, it's going to be a slaughter. Oh, Kevz. Oh no. There's just so many villagers there, and you're just going to lose. Ah, man. You just lost all the villager you had, and you're sending all of your villagers to fight Inca villagers. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that, folks. The Inca villager lost 0 vills, and Kevz lost or had injured several. But, oh, what? Oh my god! What? 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 Ladies and gents, we are not just seeing a tower rush. Oh no. Oh no, we're seeing an Incan douche. We are seeing an Incan douche happening right here. And that is more than I ever expected. Maybe he thinks he's playing Persians. But holy shit. Wow, I did not expect that. I did not expect an Incan douche. I expected an Incan tower rush. I still kind of expect an Incan tower rush, but certainly not TC dropping your opponents. I guess it makes sense. But now we're starting to see towers, and wow, that blew my fucking mind. That absolutely blew my mind. Wow. Wow. Yeah, so we're seeing the first tower go up. Yeah, I mean this is just getting funnier and funnier. So Fleeze is now, or sorry, not Fleeze, Captain Weebmaster is now taking pretty much all of all the resources from Kevz, and Kevz is just kind of left like, what do I do? What do I do? He's off gold. Oh, we're seeing a blacksmith be built in Kevz's base. I'd like to see more towers, but hey, if blacksmith works, we're gonna start seeing blacksmith upgrades for the villagers, who Incan villagers get the upgrades for infantry. So it makes them just absolute tanks, absolute units. And we're just going to see I mean, Weeb is gonna just absolutely decimate kevz's villagers here. He's gonna lose a tower, but all of these villagers are gonna get slaughtered basically by the TC. And Weeb is just gonna keep producing villagers and keep taking kevz's resources. Wow. Okay, so Weeb has walled his base. He's taking his food. I don't really like the sheep slaughter here. He's not taking more stone. I think that's the biggest problem with his, little tower rush slash TC rush, is that he's not taking stone. Well, he is taking stone in kevz's base though, which might make all the difference. And he's getting the armor for his villagers, and again, makes all the difference. Now he just needs to get forging, and these villagers will be absolute fucking tanks. We're going to see kevz. I think at this point, kevz is just kind of giving up because he's chasing a scout with like 15 vills. And again, we're just seeing kevz doesn't know what to do. Maybe he hasn't practiced against tower rush. Maybe he didn't practice against. Certainly not a douche. And nobody expects a douche coming from the Incan player. They expect towers, but certainly not an Incan douche. Maybe if it was Persians, but I mean, they're not TC fighting. No, this is just straight up. I think Captain Weebmaster was just kind of going for the meme here. He probably realized that kevz was streaming, and he just wanted to go for the meme war. And the worst part is it's actually working. Kevz, I don't know if kevz is planning on going for a base switch here. He's got all of these villagers just kind of sitting there. And Weeb is just going to go around with his tanky-ass villagers and build more towers. Now that he's got the stone, now that he's got the wood, all he's got to do is keep building towers. And I think this game is honestly over already. Kevz is off pretty much all of his resources, except for this one lumber camp and this one gold that he's managed to wall off. But all it's going to take is 2 or 3 towers from Weebmaster. And that's what we're starting to see, is just, he's going to tower here, he's probably going to tower here. I'd like to see him get more of these villagers involved in some towers, maybe get him off the farms here, make sure he can't retreat to this wood line. But now, kevz is kind of doomed at this point. Who expects a fucking douche from the Incan player? That's just too much. That's just a little too much, guys. Okay, these villagers are going to get probably shot up pretty badly, and this tower is going to go up. There's not much you can do about that. We're getting fletching from. This is going to be a very slow game to start with, ladies and gents. And honestly, I don't know that kevz can come back from it. He's at a 15 vil difference at 20 minutes. They're both still in feudal age. Kevz is now off even more of his resources. I don't know what else he can do. We're seeing kevz's villagers flee. We're seeing, a mill down here, but this is entirely exposed to any military that Weebmaster decides to build. But Weebmaster just isn't building any military. He's entirely fighting with vills. He's getting forging, which is going to make his vills pretty much the equivalent of like maybe a militiaman or a men-at-arms. And there's nothing kevz can do about it. Kevz, maybe that was a misclick. Tries to go back, gets shot by the tower. This second tower is going to get kevz off his gold. I mean, kevz is now off of any resource that means anything. It's got to be a GG. This has got to be a GG coming up pretty soon. The farms are gone. The gold's gone. The gold's not quite gone, actually. Maybe we need to see another tower over here. Yeah, what the hell is this game? Weebmaster, if you're here, kevz, if you're here, kevz just responded to me in the Discord. You're absolutely right, kevz. This game is just an absolute mess. It looks like kevz is going to try to go reboom somewhere else. But honestly, he might be better off just not wasting his time. And he might be better off just not wasting his time and just calling the GG now. Because this, you don't recover from this. You don't recover from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7 towers in your base, a TC, you're on none of your resources, you got 1 lumber camp, and you're even dying to the wolves over here. Do you have loom? At least you have loom, but man, that you're taking wood, but you can't take anything else. All he needs is 1 good tower here. You have no military buildings, kevz. Nothing. Okay, so it looks like Captain Weebmaster is going to try to find kevz. But wow, this is a hell of a first game for this series, and I don't know if Weebmaster specifically went for the meme comp, but goddamn if he didn't do it well. Wow. Kevz, buddy, you're going to Castle Age, yeah, but honestly, just you're gonna have to GG it at this point. You've got 3 working farms. You got 5 on gold. I don't see this going very well for you, bud. But you know, to each his own. To each his own. Oh boy, yeah, this does not look good for you. Let's look at all those overlapping fields of fire from the towers. So again, that's the Age of Mandala mod that allows me to see the ranges of towers, TCs, castles if they ever go up. Captain Weebmaster throws a 20 out there. I don't know, that might be the resign button. Again, kevz is going to Castle Age, but honestly, that's not his best choice at the moment. His best choice is. And look at this, we've got villagers battering down a TC, and they can do it because they're just that tanky now. And this TC, you know, we're gonna see some Vil fighting, but this is gonna go down. This TC is very likely gonna go down, and I really hate to say it, but kevz, this is over, man. Like, you're at a 30 Vil difference. Your entire base is gone. I guess you can start producing military out of your barracks if you wanted to. I guess you could maybe build a stable somewhere and start making knights. Okay, you're making archers. I don't know where your archery range is, kevz. Where's kevz's archer range? Does anyone see it? Okay, so he's got archers coming out here. I'm going to be shocked and appalled if kevz can bring this back, because that's a heavy throw from our little Inkandouche here, Captain Weebmaster. What the fuck is this game even? Alright, we're starting to see some eagles for Captain Weebmaster, just like we're seeing archers. Oh, God, man, really? This Captain Weebmaster making another town center in kevz's base. Kevz trying to make a town center on... Oh, we're going for a full base swap, aren't we? How long is this game? Kevz, man. I get it. But, like... How do you think you're going to come back from this? And Weeb, you got to make more military, man. You got a couple of eagle warriors on the way, but, like... More military. You got a castle coming up, but these archers are definitely going to stop you. And this is what comes from not having any military. This is what happens with just fighting with villagers. Because even though your villager's the equivalent of a man-at-arms, it doesn't matter against archers. You know, this castle's got a little bit of health on it, so you're going to lose some stone. And kevz is coming back with crossbow. If kevz brings this back, I will be ripshit. You might lose this castle. At this point, it might be better just to delete the castle, Weebmaster. Mona, just delete the castle. He's going to try to send some eagle warriors in, and we'll see how that works against crossbows. He does not yet have his armor in for the eagle warriors, So they are going to take a significant amount of damage from these archers, but that allows Weebmaster the time to get his TC up, if not necessarily to complete his castle. Now he's going to go for the castle. Kevz has managed to extend his life a little bit by making a TC here on Weebmaster's base. Again, this game is such a mess. I don't even know what's going on. We've got idols on both sides. We've got a few measly villas down here. We've got some crossbows in the mix. Now we're seeing farms from kevz around his TC. I mean, obviously Weeb can see this, but he has no military to really do anything about it with. We're starting to see some Eagle Warriors from Weebmaster. This is just wow. All right, we're finally gonna see. No, we're not gonna see. I would really like to see Weeb just take out these, but we're not gonna see that yet because naturally, like everyone else in this tournament, we're just gonna see them try to attack the military buildings. Doesn't matter that the military buildings aren't producing anything. They want those military buildings gone, and that's gonna give kevz the time he needs to build back up his economy. I mean. I mean, sure, we're producing Eagle Warriors here for Captain Weebmaster, and it looks like, what are we also producing? Okay, we just got a couple of villagers in this, but we've got a lot of idle vills for Weebmaster, 10 idle vills for Weebmaster, but we've also got 40 more vills total. So, I honestly could not tell you what the ever-living shit is going on right now. Yeah, we're seeing some raiding. Finally, these farms are gone, and the Eagles will probably clean up these crossbowmen. They're running away from a fight that they could easily take, though. I mean, it is under the TC, but I mean, we're seeing Weebmaster is going to try to make maybe a mini base or something. Wow, this is probably. God, we went from like seeing like the greediest walls ever to seeing like the messiest game I've seen in a long, long fucking time. And make no mistake, this is insanely messy. Again, we're attacking the blacksmith here. I would argue if you're gonna attack a military building, right, you want to attack the siege workshop. But moreover, you don't want to attack either of them. You want to go attack this. This is what you need to be focusing on, Weebmaster. If you watch this later, you're allowing this to happen. You've got 14 eagles. Those 14 eagles, instead of attacking these little tiny buildings over here, you could be attacking all of kevz shit over here, or kevz shit over here. You're allowing kevz to reboot, and ultimately that's what's costing you the most here. Because you honestly should have won this like 10 minutes ago. This game should not have been even 40 minutes long. Just this devastation. There shouldn't have been a base trade. Some military following your Inca. Oh, PK, you have no fucking idea. We started off with an Incan douche. This TC here was an Incan douche. Fucking blows my mind. And then we started with towers everywhere. Yeah, no, it wasn't a Persian douche. It was an Incan douche. And then just we saw Captain Weebmaster taking all of kevz's resources. Then we went to a base trade, which is now being corrected by Captain Weebmaster. Though we do see some knights from kev. And now we're seeing another TC pop up from kevz. Kevz is being a real cockroach here. Look at it. We've got from Weebmaster just out in the middle of nowhere. This has to be him just memeing on kevz at this point. Because it really couldn't be anything else. This game is the messiest shit I've ever, maybe not ever seen, but it's definitely the messiest shit I've seen in a while. This is gonna get cleaned up. If Weebmaster can find this, it's gonna get cleaned up. This is game one, Little Drippin'. This is game one. This is the messiest game one I've seen. If you just got here, we started off with an Incan douche by Captain Weebmaster. He landed his TC right here. Then he started with the towers. And honestly, this game's been over for 20 minutes. Yeah, Weebmaster is just absolutely destroying right now. Yeah, no kidding. Weebmaster he's just memeing at this point. Kevz is being a cockroach, but look at the difference we've got 80 vills to 14. This should have been GG like 20 minutes ago. Kevz, unfortunately, is not going to come back from this. He's got roving bands of Eagle Warriors. Kevz has some villagers up here completely undefended. He's got 1 on wood. He's got 5 on gold and 2 on farms. And Weebmaster is going Imperial eventually. This game, man, I don't know how many of you have seen this from the very beginning, but definitely go back and give it a watch later, because holy shit, this game is something. All right, Kevz finally calls the GG at 42 minutes as soon as maybe as soon as he realized he really wasn't going to come back from this. Probably because the Eagle Warriors hit his last TC. But my god, this was the messiest game I've seen in so fucking long. And I'm gonna go to the break scene real quick so I can set up the next match, just so there's no spoilers. And feel free to take a second and follow me if you guys like the content, and if not, well, stick around, maybe you'll change your mind. Alright, going into game 2 of Weeb versus Kevz. And I wonder if we're going to see another meme comp, or if we're going to see something else happen. Either way, we're back now, and we are going to be playing here on Yucatan, again with the game 2 Yucatan, just like earlier. And we've got Weebmaster playing as the Indians, and Kevz going with the more meta choice of Mongols. So let's see if Kevz does any better this game. We're probably going to see a standard start. So again, game 2 of Weebmaster versus Kevz. I still fucking love Weebmaster's name, Captain Weebmaster. That's, you know, that's a pretty great name. Weebmaster kind of gets screwed a bit on the map. He's got a very large area he needs to wall, and he has this big lake right here. So Weebmaster definitely gets shafted a little bit on the walling, whereas Kevz is going to have a much easier time as long as he remembers to wall right here. Right here is the deer that the Mongols definitely all need. So again, the reason why you pick Mongols on this map is because you get a cubic fuckload of turkeys, you get 8 deer, you get 3 boar, and Mongols grab hunt faster. That's all you need to know, is Mongols are faster at collecting food. Look at this. Look at this wall Kevz already has. He doesn't even need a wall here because he's got this little tree. This entire side of Kevz's wall map is already walled. He's got this little gap here, and little gap here. He's already found most of his resources. Captain Weebmaster, I'm not sure I like this. I'm not sure I like this lumber camp. I think it could have gone here if you were going to place it anywhere. Or even just right here. Just make it more efficient. But that's just me. I also don't like this. I think probably Weebmaster could have called a bugged map on this, just because you know, your stone is touching your berries. It's preventing you from getting both resources. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this game is going to go, but I fully would expect that Kevz is going to win this. From the sheer fact that he's Mongols, and his map already came pre-walled. I mean, just look at that. How unfair of a map is that compared to Weebmaster, who's wide open, and on top of that, his stone and berries are smashed together. He's got one back gold, but even his other resources are all forward. And this is a sad, and this wall probably could have been served better here. What we need is for him to take the fleeze strategy and just super greedily wall across the entire center of the map, just like fleeze did earlier. I think we're going to call that pulling a fleeze because, man, I still can't get over the dirty, dirty walls those were. But ultimately, I mean, we're seeing pretty standard. Indians, I think, was certainly an interesting choice. So if you look at Indians, villagers cost less, fishermen work faster, and you've got camel riders with more armor. So unless he's going for camels, I don't know why he picked this map. Or not this map, this civ for this map. He had the choice of Mongols. It wasn't globally banned. Because obviously kevz is playing as Mongols. So maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he's got a specific strategy in mind. Because there's very little fish on Yucatan. You got maybe one shorefish per pond, and that's if you take the ponds. You should be much more focused on hunt. So that's kind of unfortunate. Kevz has walled up a little bit right here, but I don't know if he remembered to wall. He definitely didn't remember to wall here. It looks like he's going to be walling. Yep, he's going to be walling across there and presumably here. But this could be a big problem if Kevz doesn't remember he needs to wall this. Yeah, I agree, PK. Indians do absolutely have to go camels. But the question, I guess, is why would you go Indians on this map? I get maybe if you were trying to save Mongols for a later map, like you didn't know if you would win on here on this map, Yucatan. So they're doing again what they were doing before, which is kind of just letting their food rot under their TC, and they're both doing it. They've got a sheep or a turkey right here. Both got a turkey while they take their boar. I don't like when people do that. I'd rather they just like saved a vill or two, and it's just kind of messy. But we've already seen that Captain Weebmaster excels at messy games. He excels at very messy games. He is scouting Weeb. Weeb is scouting very much on Kev's side. He's actually found Kev's pretty quick this time, and Weeb is going up to feudal age significantly before Kev's. Kev's again leaving turkeys to rot while he pulls his boar, and we're not seeing anyone on the hunt yet. We're seeing several food be taken here. I don't know if that was intentional or not. And now we're seeing... See, okay, so Weebmaster is definitely still in the Incan mindset. And he needs to put a mill right here, especially because he just killed a deer. He needs to put a mill right here and start taking this food. Not walling with 4 villagers. I understand the need to wall, but Kevz isn't anywhere near Dark Age. So he doesn't need to... you're in no danger of a scout rush. Or archer rush, really. What's the question marks there? The 4 vills going over to housing, not taking the deer. I'm still pretty concerned that this is going to be a hole for Kevz. And Kevz seems to be just sacrificing all of his turkeys, maybe? You'd have to ask Weebmaster, honestly. So maybe Kevz has put... I'm going to check actually on Kevz's map. So Kevz has not put waypoints on each of these turkeys. So if he's not careful, when this turkey is done, all of these turkeys are going to get killed. Weebmaster is in feudal age. We're probably going to see... We see a barracks. Are we going to see an archery range or maybe a stables or... Nope. We're also not seeing a mill. Despite having the wood, I believe... Yep, despite having the wood, we're not seeing a mill from Captain Weebmaster on the deer. He's just kind of taking them and probably going to walk back to this mill back here. And we're not seeing... Okay, so he's going for a little bit of fleeze style walls, and he is being a little greedy with his walling over on this side. And I can't say I disagree with him entirely, but that's going to be a hard wall to defend. And again, he's not going for a scout rush, it doesn't look like. He's not going for archers. Yeah, I agree with you, PK. 100%. Don't worry about these berries. Make a mill right here and take the deer. They're so much faster, so much more efficient. And he's got 6 on berries, which is already kind of a weird for any build order. I wonder if he just kind of left his waypoint on the berry. Yeah, he just left his waypoint on the berries. So now he's got 7 on berries and 3 on deer, but these 3 on deer have to walk all the way to the mill. And we're not seeing... Okay, we are seeing a stable from kevz, but we're not seeing any military from kevz. So he built this stable. He used the resources to build this stable. It looks like he also left a hole over here. Kevz, your map is full of holes right now. I get that hills are kind of hard to see, but there's a hole right there. There's still a hole. Okay, now you filled that hole, which is good. And kevz isn't taking his deer. Kevz! You're Mongols! Take your fucking deer! What are you doing? Forget about the fucking turkeys. Take your goddamn deer! You milled them. You milled the deer and you're not taking them. Kevz! You're not making military, you're not making villas. Are you trying to go fast castle to go straight from Mangadai? I think that's what kevz is trying to do. But you'd get to Castle Age so much faster if you took your fucking deer. That's the whole point of taking deer. And this scout's just going to kind of harass the villager. The villager's going to survive. She's got loom. And kevz is going up to Castle Age. But he could have been in Castle Age so much faster if he... PK in the chat, you are absolutely right. But it goes for both players. Fuck the berries, take the deer. Both players are just... I don't know if they got tilted from... Both got tilted somehow from last game. But like, they're doing something alright. So going back to kevz, is kevz on stone? Kevz is not on stone yet. So he's not going to be able to make Mangadai as soon as he goes up to Castle Age. So his extra Castle Age time essentially doesn't do anything. I mean, it looks like these vills are maybe going to go to stone after that. But he's going to have to use 200 stone just to make more TCs. Presuming that's what he's going to boom on 3 TCs. He just doesn't have, and again we're seeing Weebmaster again taking his berries, but he's still got 4 deer. He's still got all these deer that he could be taking, 5 deer technically, and now Weeb is also going to stone. Weeb is going for Castle Age pretty soon as well. Okay, so kevz is finally taking his deer. But instead of going for the close deer, he went for the farther deer. Kev's going for 1 TC extra. Do we see a second TC coming up? We do not see a second TC coming up. Weeb is, in fact, going to stone. I imagine he's either going to go... Knowing Weebmaster's last game, I fully expect a castle drop. I fully expect a castle drop from Weeb. We're looking at, he's 200 gold or 200 stone there. And we're seeing kevz got his scouts out, but these scouts aren't going to do anything in Castle Age. They're just not going to do anything, especially not because Weeb is full walled. So that these scouts do nothing. They do absolutely nothing for kevz, and at most he's going to scout the map a little bit more than them. I could be wrong, but I mean anyone is just gonna house wall behind the scouts, and there's nothing they can do. We see some spears, we see some skirms, and there we see the house walls. Those scouts aren't gonna do anything. Weebmaster still doesn't have enough stone. Kevz also doesn't have enough stone. He's only got 2 on stone. So I don't know what they're going for. If Kevz is going for Mangadai, he's certainly not building himself out for Mangadai. He's getting his second TC, sure. And even if Weeb is going for something like Elephant Archers or, you know, any of his castle units, or even like just knights or anything, he's not going for anything either. Weebmaster just straight up isn't producing anymore. We're at 20 minutes in, 30 vills each. I, maybe they wore themselves out after last game. So yeah, this was the problem with this kind of greedy wall that I was mentioning. So you can't. He had no villagers over here to defend this wall. So these scouts are gonna get in, but they're just 4 scouts. I mean, 4 castle age scouts, sure, but these shouldn't be able to do much damage. He doesn't even get a vill pick there. There's spears, there's skirms. Yeah, nothing's happening here. Okay, so typically speaking, the point of going Mangadai, if that is what kevz is doing, is to go as quickly as you can to Castle Age, make a castle, and start producing Mangadai. These scouts are going to die. There's nothing they're going to be able to do. They might be able to stop Weebmaster's economy for like a second, but not if Weeb is anyway confident. We've got 3 TCs for kevz, but he still doesn't have the materials he needs for a castle. He's got 840 gold. He could buy a castle, and I think that's probably what we're going to eventually see if kevz remembers to see that he has a market. But, I mean, all we're seeing here is, I think kevz is paying too much attention to his scouts. These scouts have already lost. You don't get a single vill pick. The scouts die. This scout rush didn't do anything. You're spending so much time there that you didn't realize you have almost 1,000 gold that you can buy your castle with and start producing Mangadai and doing real damage. But it's, oh man, really? Okay, so Weebmaster is going for camels. We're going to start seeing camels from Weebmaster. We've got some camel riders. But Weebmaster has enough for a castle too, but we're not seeing one. We're not even seeing Ford Villas. We're not seeing even a defensive castle. kevz has over 1,000 gold and is housed, or about to be housed anyway. They're both still producing villagers, but I mean, they're not doing anything else. kevz is housed. Weebmaster is, doing his thing. Neither are producing any military. We've got 1 military for kevz, 7 for Weebmaster, but 6 of those are spearmen and skirms that are going to do no real economic damage to kevz. I want to see a castle somewhere. I would very much like to see a castle. kevz, just fucking buy one. Just buy a castle. And I mean, Weebmaster can make one already. Oh, we're seeing some vills. Oh, no, they're just building a lumber camp. I got excited for nothing. kevz has secured his holes. But he's going to make... Oh my god, kevz, did you not have a market already? Is that why you haven't been building... How? What? I know, man. Like, I don't know what this game is. I'm so confused. All right, I think we're gonna see some Ford villas. I think Weebmaster has realized that he has enough stone for a castle. Weebmaster, he's gonna put a castle here. I don't disagree with that. That's a good defensive spot. It's gonna give him a little bit of map control. kevz, how did you not have a market? How did you not? And still kevz. There we go. kevz is buying some stone, and they're both finally gonna get a castle up. I don't know where though. I don't know where kevz is gonna put this castle. Presumably like right here or something. I hope he's not gonna try to go for a Ford castle with no military. We're seeing a lot of idle time on both sides. Okay, so kevz is going to go for a somewhat Ford castle. It's not the worst placed castle that I can imagine, but I mean, I don't. All right, we're seeing some more TCs from Weebmaster. We've got 4 TCs from Weeb. We're still on 3 from kevz, and this is, I think, where we start to see Weebmaster pulling away. We've got 80 vills to 60. And I don't know if we're gonna start seeing camel archer or we're still seeing camels. We're seeing knights from Kevz. Kevz, what are you doing? You just got your castle up. You don't need knights. Stop wasting your gold. Why are you making knights? Mangadai. Mangudai. That's what you need, not knights. Mangadai. Sell your food. No knights. Okay, you're making 12 Mangadai. That's good. That's good. But stop making Mangadai. Or stop making knights. Mangadai. You're Mongols. Make Mangadai. In fact, better yet, fucking get your ass another castle and produce from 2 castles. 2 castles. Also, I think you already got it, but just to make sure. Okay, we don't have Thumb Ring yet. We don't have Bloodlines yet. We don't have Bodkin yet. Okay, so Kevz, you need to get your upgrades too for your Mangadai. I want to know what Weebmaster is doing. Weebmaster is just making vills. He's made some camels. He feels safe. He feels safe with his small army of camels. I don't know where his camels are. He is getting... Okay, so... Okay, so here's a good strategy from Weebmaster. He has scouted out a couple of relics, and he's putting his camels... These camels should probably be patrolling, but he is saving these relics for his own people, which is a great idea. But he also needs to be producing military behind it, and all he's doing is monks so far. And monks aren't going to do a whole lot against Mangadai. Yeah, this has certainly been entertaining. I'm very entertained by this series. We're seeing both go to Imperial Age at roughly the same time. But it's not going to do all that much. It's not going to do all that much. Also, just as an aside, if anyone watching is free tomorrow and wants to do that 2v2 tournament, I'm looking for a partner at the moment. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to see the knights do something. I don't know what these knights are planning on doing from Kevz. Maybe they saw the camel? No? I don't know what those knights are planning on doing. I just heard the sound of elephants. I heard elephants from somewhere. Where did I hear elephants from? Elephantes. Where are the elephants? I want to see them. Elephants? Elephants. We're getting Sultan. Oh, okay. Okay, we're seeing elephant archers. Captain Weebmaster, when you see this game later, please message me. I legitimately want to know, do you know how to play a strategy that isn't a meme? And that's not me being mean. That's me legitimately wanting to know, like, do you ever play strategies that aren't meme strategies? It's cool if you don't. I just really want to know. Like, with a name like Captain Weebmaster, you kind of... I can see why, but, like... I want to know. Like... Alright, we're seeing some rams from Kevz, which is exactly what you want to see. We're seeing no more... Are we seeing Mangadai production? We're still seeing a little bit of Mangadai production. Kevz has enough for a second castle, and I'd like to see that a little bit more forward. Maybe even contesting this castle, or even just defensively. We see Kevz's knights are getting in, but they're not doing anything. They're just attacking farms, and the pikemen might even just clear them up. The camels will certainly clear them up, that's for sure. These rams are going to do nothing, and we're seeing the elephants. They're not doing all that much, but let's zoom in a little bit. Look at those big boys. Weeb, you were the fleeze of this, or the potato of this game, I guess. Okay, we're gonna see the Mangadai come in and take out that trib pretty easily. I think this castle is gonna go down, but we need to see. Okay, we are seeing a second castle from Kevz, and I don't disagree with that position. But all right, we're seeing more trebs coming out from kevz. This castle is certainly going to go down, especially if Weeb doesn't do anything about it. But Weeb, how's the military looking? I want to know. Weeb still has 30 more villagers, and still has 9 more military than kevz. But kevz is making Mangadai, and soon he's going to be making 2 castles producing Mangadai, presumably, and rams. So he's going full Mangadai siege. This castle's going to go down. And suddenly we've got a defenseless front against Captain Weebmaster. But Weebmaster does have the hill, and he's got skirms and elephant archers. So this is maybe not the fight that kevz wants to take. And again, I see this in a lot of these games. We have situations where people just aren't using their military. And granted, they may think their military is too small for anything, but 15 Mangadai is nothing to sneeze at, and could easily break through here, could easily break through here, and start doing some major damage to this economy. But instead we're attacking houses. And we're allowing our opponent to regroup, and potentially recastle. Weebmaster has 1,600 stone. That's enough for almost 3 castles, and he's yet to build another one. Yeah, he's not building another one. So that's on him. His elephant archers are gone. He's building bombard cannons. This game, man, this series. Okay, he's gonna try to convert an elephant. It's gonna fail, but now again. Okay, we're seeing Thumbering and Parthenian, whatever the thing that lets you fire faster as you're running away. Fucking that one from the archer range, and now we're seeing pikemen as well as some infantry upgrades from kevz, and we're seeing some cavalry upgrades from Weeb. So really, and we're seeing a lot of skirms, which is probably the best thing imaginable for Weebmasters, to get some skirms to counter these Mangadai. I still think Indians is just such an odd pick. He's gonna come in with these bombard cannons, and if these elephant archers win him the game, I'm gonna be mad for kevz. Like, but seriously, Weebmaster, if you see this, if you're watching, message me. I want to know, do you play non-meme strats? That's really what I got. I don't know. Okay, so he's gonna use the Mangadai to try to take the hill. He's gonna wipe out the bombard cannons if he's smart. He's gonna wipe out some of the monks. He loses a Mangadai to a monk, but that's absolutely devastating to Weebmaster's army. And it lost kevz only a couple of Mangadai, and he's making pikes now. Kevz is making pikes now, presumably to protect his new trebs. We've got a castle here from Weeb. That's pretty new. We don't have another castle from Weeb, not yet anyway. But we are seeing the elephants come in to attack the trebs. This could be very bad. And this game is gonna make me like become depressed and start drinking. This whole series is gonna make me drink. kevz is gonna lose these trebs most likely, but all the elephant archers are now dead. Oh my god! Oh my god! Weeb is making more. He's making more elephant archers out of this castle. Oh, Weebmaster. Why? Why? Weeb is pop capped at 160. The trebs are down. Everything's down. Even my enthusiasm is down. What the fuck is this? Kevz, you need to be making more Mangadai. You have, how many Mangadai does Kevz have? Kevz has 13 mega die. That is not nearly enough mega die. You need to have like 5 times that many mega die. Not really, but like you need to have. Actually, yeah, 5 times that many mega die would do it. You're both in Imperial Age. Why do you not have? You need. Okay, Elite mega die looks like it's on the way, but delete these 2 mega die from the queue and get Elite mega die faster. Then get Bracer if you haven't already. The castle is going to take out some of these skirms, which is nice. Yeah, Hussar would be nice, but yeah, he doesn't have any food. He's got no economy to back up anything. We've got 82 vills to 130 from Captain Weebmaster, and we're really this has been like the style of the game so far. Is we're just seeing kevz just taking no economic leads whatsoever. And that's what's winning Weebmaster these games. Certainly not the Elephant Archers. The Elephant Archers aren't doing shit. Except kind of looking cool and, making me wonder as to how many different strategies Weeb has up his bat. Like, I want to see Weeb play on Arena and do the whole walling in his opponent thing. I feel like that's exactly the strategy that he'd go for. Or, like... Mongols should absolutely trounce anything except Mongols on Yucatan. Hands down, Mongols should win just about every time on Yucatan. Just from the sheer fact that they have so much better food gathering early game. And this castle goes down. kevz is losing a ton of Mangadai to these skirmishers on the hill. And I don't know if he misclicked or he's just trying to run past, but this is not doing kevz any favors. And he takes the spot at the bottom of the hill. Yeah, this is... I would, if I had to call it at a certain point, I would probably say now when it's 55 military to 2, as well as 124 villagers to 84. The castles are going down, and I don't think there's really... Okay, kevz is fighting with vills. Yeah, this is done. I expect a GG very soon. You're right, PK. This is... Oh! Little Drippin, thanks for following. I don't know if you're still here. I did not notice at all. Yeah, this is probably going to be it. Yep, and we see kevz call the GG, and that is it for yet another game of Dark Age Cup. What can I really say about this game except I hated it? This game just it kind of drained this game wasn't, I don't think, as bad as the last game, but like Elephant Archers and Indians pick on Yucatan, and you know what, I appreciate it. I appreciate Weebmaster, and I hope he goes farther, and he takes his douches and his trushes and everything else, and he takes that to the final round, because I want to see how Hera casts this game. All right, I want to see Hera cast Weebmaster in conducing and fucking I just want to see what he says about this, because honestly, I think this game, or especially the first game of this series, might just make a pro player like rage quit. Oh man, Weebmaster versus Aspud, that would be something. That would be absolutely something. Wow. That was... What a series. What a couple of players. I appreciate both of them. Wow. That was just insanity. Both of those games. I'm really glad I got to message Weebmaster and let him know that I'm so glad he asked me to cast those games, because wow, just I don't know what my life would be if I hadn't seen them. So I'm going to take a quick break and get a drink and run to the bathroom. If anyone in the chat has games they want to see cast, if anyone wants to see, I guess, me play, that'd be horrifying. Then I will come back and do that. But for now, I'm gonna take a break, and I will see you all relatively soon.